Podcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everybody, it is Harlan, and I have to tell you that this webinar is absolutely jam-packed with information. I have to tell you, we're going to have to use a shoehorn to get all the information to you about making money with AI. So this is a free webinar. As I indicated, nothing is going to be sold. But I invite you to pay attention. This is going to be like drinking from a fire hose. This is going to be somewhat incredible. And my friend Jim is here. I want to make sure that he has his mic on and he can speak too. Yes, I don't see your mic, Jim. Can you hear me? Let's see what's going on here.
There we go.
Okay. Now, if you, first of all, number one, just to make sure, there's no way I'm going to be able to follow the questions. So if you have a question, please, please, please put it in, submit your question, type it in. But the first question that I always begin with is number one, can you see the screen and can you hear me? And Jim, just let me know if everything is coming in and we're going to move on.
I can see and hear you fine.
Well, what about everybody else? That's what I've got to know.
Nobody yet.
Nobody's saying anything?
Correct.
Look under questions. I just looked over there. There's dozens and dozens and dozens of people saying, whoa, it's Justin. Hi, Justin. Lots and lots of people, lots and lots of friends here. Whoa, Craig, how you doing? Abe, I have to call you. Sherry, we spoke. Barb, Scott is going to be over. Scott is going to take action on at least 30 suggestions I make by the time the evening is over. Mike, how are you? All right, lots and lots and lots of people. Hi, Ray, all the way from down under. Josh, good to see you again. Harlan, good to see you. The two people with the same name. Nico, you made it at the last minute. Okay, so I'm going to assume that's a yes, and let's go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the history of AI. I'm going to overview AI today. We're going to talk about AI products to make you money. We're going to talk about the dark side of AI. We're going to talk about new product warnings, and we're going to talk about the future of AI. If you have questions, please type them in under questions, and Jim will keep his eye on the questions. Jim, if you can't see the questions, I'm just going to make you an organizer.
Yeah, I really can't. Yeah.
So you are now an organizer. You should be able to see questions now. Okay, so let's get started. If you've ever wondered how AI came to be, let me tell you, the history of AI is just fascinating. It started back in the 1950s. There were researchers had a vision to create machines that can think and learn like human beings. There were many of the early movies were very anti-AI, mistakes being made by AI. one of my all-time favorite movies growing up was War Games, which was all about the Whopper computer, which is supposed to be the most advanced um, computer ever created. Greetings, Professor Falcon, for you trivia buffs. It was such a good movie that it was made a second time. But early AI was all about bad things that were going to happen. You may remember 2001 with the HAL 9000 computer that had feelings and felt threatened, so it took action. Um, and this was literally um, the approach that was taken for many, many years. So OpenAI, which has gotten quite popular, is a research laboratory. Look at the people who started it, including Elon Musk. Um, their goal was, and this was started back only as recently as 2015, but there were definitely other attempts first. There was IBM's working to create a chess AI. What was that? Was that DeepMind, Jim?
Deep Blue.
Deep Blue. And IBM would put up money to play against chess grandmasters, and Deep Blue kept losing, and they kept working and programming. And eventually, Deep Blue started beating grandmasters. I don't know the state of it today, but um,
They stopped doing chess computers. IBM stopped doing chess computers after they beat Gary Kasparov, the world champion, in a match.
okay, well, there you go. So AI did not just show up. Okay, AI has been around. Um, in 2016, OpenAI released its first product, which was called the Gym, where they invited other people to come in and start creating products. And in 2017, they started letting developers use the AI model through a simple AI. AI is a code that lets you directly access it, and you could go to work. And this was probably the birth of AI. Now, what AI really did in 2018 was that they released a language model called GPT-2, which generates human-like chat, human-like text. And then they went, oh, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. So they released a follow-up called GPT-3, which further improved the sophistication of the language. The chat that everyone has become familiar with today uses GPT-3. Now, AI was everywhere before you even knew it. People didn't call it AI. Siri, that's on your phone, on your watch, or your iPad, your TV, uses AI to understand requests and response. Um, you can tell Siri to make a phone call, send a text message, read a WhatsApp, set a reminder, and many, many other things. That's powered by AI. Not to be the only one. Alexa uses, and I'm waiting for my device to go off and say something, is a virtual assistant, which is also AI powered. It understands languages and requests in natural language. It also controls all kinds of smart home devices like lights and thermostats. It can play music, set alarms, and it can provide information. It also does a really good job of spying on people and incidentally tells the world's worst jokes ever. Every night before I go to bed, I have Alexa set my alarms. And after I set my alarms, I say, Alexa, tell me a joke. And the jokes are universally bad. But that's my evening ritual to hear a really bad joke. Jim, it reminds me when you used to post those puns online every day. Uh,
Yep.
and people would try, some of the best minds on the internet would compete with you for puns. Okay, so now I was known as the NLP guy, but Siri and Alexa use what's called NLP, which is natural learning pathways and
Natural language programming.
natural language programming. So this is the key that people will be able to talk to AI. And as we're going to see, um, talking to AI is absolute, um, absolutely the right, um, is absolutely the right thing. So let's go let's go a little further. There have been so many movies about AI. The actual movie AI, Steven Spielberg, 2001, Her, The Terminator, the Matrix series, Wall-E. These are all about AI. Um, AI is now used in actual movies for special effects. Um, One of the things that they do is called CGI, computer generated imagery, and machine learning. So, what this does is it allows people to create characters, environments, visual effects that would normally be impossible. For example, the original Lion King was animated. In 2008, they took photorealistic animals and using AI algorithms turned it into a video that actually looked that there were real animals in it. Um, Sometimes they start with characters. And by the way, we're going to show you that you can do this too. Um, and they put a character, they do a little bit of a video, and then they take that video and turn it into an animated character that looks exactly like the person. By the way, this is one of the ways you can harness this today and make money with it, but we'll talk more about that shortly. Um, AI completely changed special effects, removing the background, changing things, speeding up the rendering process. And if you saw Avatar 2, what was Avatar 2's big theme? What was the name of the second name? What was the real name of Avatar 2? Type it in if you know it. Oh gosh. Let's see if some person wrote one word. Ah, Stephanie gets it. The Way of the Water. And it was a whole video about a tribe that lived on the water and on the water. There was an entire, there were scenes where people were underwater swimming for long periods of time. Looked realistic. What you don't realize was it was filmed in a swimming pool in Malibu, I believe. One swimming pool that they used AI to make people think that they were under the sea, and all of the fish and all of the creatures were 100% generated by AI. And if you've seen the special effects of that movie, I don't know that another movie has come close. to the special effects there. Quite beautiful, quite amazing. Now, we are in a rapidly changing field. I assure you, 6 months from today, this webinar will be completely out of date. And I'm going to be showing you things that are available now that you probably do not realize are available that you can use to make money tonight and tomorrow. There are some people here who are very, very advanced. I'm going to show you some things that are very advanced that are going to save you time, money, and effort. So stick with me. We're focused on making you guys money, even though I'm not selling you anything. Now, it's all about the Benjamins. Today, AI is more powerful. It's changing the way we live and work. There are people predicting dire consequences of AI. I think it's an exciting journey, and every single person can leverage it and make money in the process. So it's not just for tech geeks and researchers. It has come out of the geeky closet. It's for everybody. Writing copy, creating incredible art, generating books, optimizing SEO. The uses that you're going to see tonight are amazing. The best part is it's not just big corporations anymore. Small businesses can benefit from them. AI is for everybody. Imagine being able to generate high quality content for your website, or unique art, or writing your own book. These all exist now. The possibilities are endless, and you probably don't want to be left behind. So it's not science fiction. It's about cash. You can generate significant revenue for your business, from automating processes to improving customer services to creating new products, even to selling. The possibilities are endless. You're going to learn that you can open up new revenue streams and stay ahead of the competition. So don't miss out on the opportunity to turn your business into a cash cow with AI. And I'm going to give you more ideas tonight than you could ever possibly dream of. There are, oh, thank you for that. There are many money applications of AI, and we're going to talk about them. Now, a funny thing happened just 2 days ago that someone who I respect sent me he saw that I was doing a seminar on AI, and he said, would you promote this course for me? And it was a course about getting coaching by AI. That much I understood. And there was a whole sales letter. And as you know, my background of sales letter, and this is someone who I really respect. He's got a brilliant mind. And I looked at the sales letter and I hadn't the faintest clue as to what the benefits of the program was. And plus, as you'll see, AI can screw up. Do I want AI coaching me? So when I said to him, who wrote the copy, he got all insulted. I've never seen anyone get insulted so quickly for asking a question of who wrote the copy. And I realized, or actually, someone who knows both of us, who I discussed the situation is Harlan. He used AI to write the copy. A lot of people think that copywriters are going to be eliminated. I have to tell you, no, not going to happen. Right now, AI leaves a footprint, a very wide footprint. Most people can detect AI copy when they read it. Certainly copywriters can. But writing copy is probably the most well-known use today for AI. But we're seeing some really garbagey copy coming out. And a lot of the copy that is coming out is plagiarized copy. The most popular AI writing software freely plagiarizes. Now they build this AI, they call them recipes, and you feed the recipe in and it produces copy. I have not been impressed with a single example of AI copy. Send it to me and I will tell you whether or not it's AI or not. Lots of luck. Will that change? Maybe, but we are a long way from that. A lot of people are using AI to write nonfiction books. The process is you ask, typically, hold on, I'm going to put the do not disturb on the phone here. I don't even know how to do it anymore. There it is. Okay. You can ring in silence now.
Harlan,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is there a setting so that other people can see what's in the chat?
No,
Mr. Charles
no,
Kilmer. Oh,
no,
okay.
no,
Okay.
it can't. It's
Okay.
not
Thank you.
possible. Okay. All right. So writing nonfiction books, the um, you can ask the AI to give you a table of contents for books. The other thing that you can do is you can go to Amazon for nonfiction books. In most Amazon books, you can see inside and see the table of contents. Find interesting table of contents, copy those, have the EI rephrase those, and have it create an outline of what a chapter would include, one chapter at a time. So let's say you were writing a book about, I don't know, the history of South Florida. Okay, you would find a book about Florida, find the chapters, rewrite those chapters titles just a little bit, or have the AI write it. Then ask it to generate outlines of the content for each of those chapters. Then, once it gave you the outline, you would ask it to write each of the sections in it, and you'd put together a book, one section at a time. You can fly through the creation of a nonfiction book, put it all together, and then it has to be edited. One of the easiest ways for people to make money today, and by the way, you can take those books and publish them on Kindle and make a lot of money that way. One of the things that really sells on Kindle is these really gorgeous covers, and you can create those, of course, with AI. You can write children books. You can have it. Children's books aren't very, very long, and you can have children's books with moral messages in it. Um, Homeschooling uses a lot of children's books. You can have series of books. This morning, I saw and sent Jim a video about a rabbi who had AI write his sermon. And then after he said the sermon, he said, "Who wrote the sermon?" And people were quoting very, very famous personalities, but it was written by AI and the people loved
And
it.
it was a pretty good sermon.
And it was a pretty good sermon. Um, so when writing children's books, which are popular, AI will generate a story. You can do the art in any of the AI art programs. Mid-Journey is especially popular. Um, and then publish those children's books on Kindle. Um, you may or may not know that right now, children reading on tablets is extremely popular. Extremely popular. And it is so popular that there are tablets especially for children. Um, they come with, like, shatterproof glass. And so, like, if the kid drops it or it falls out of his stroller or whatever. And there are people who have literally famous authors who are doing this. What's her name? I roll back to my friend. I actually helped her with this. Um, Her name is, and everybody probably knows the books, Laura Numeroff. Laura Numeroff is probably one of the best-selling authors of all time. And she wrote the series of If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And the funny thing is that if you looked up how many millions and millions and millions of dollars her books have generated, she has not made most of that money. Her publisher has. So she decided to take her skills and start creating children's books that can be read on tablets. And parents don't have a problem with buying books on tablets because the books are always there. I don't know if you've ever seen children with regular hard print books, but they get torn very, very frequently. These books cannot be destroyed. And they know that children love to hear books and read books again and again and again. If you love children's stories, that is probably one of the easiest ways to start making money. Um, there are a lot of people who have photos that have either faded or they want to remove someone from it. In the old days, you had to be a Photoshop expert. Not anymore. Um, you can create slide decks and PowerPoint presentations for people. By the way, this webinar was written by AI. I made a point of it. You can create YouTube videos with no one in them. You can create entire marketing campaigns from Facebook ads to email autoresponders, everything. Creating and selling AI art is huge. If you go to Etsy, you will see so much AI art, and people are making a living doing this if you get good at it. You can sell copywriting services. If you know a little bit about copywriting, you can do some halfway decent stuff. If you can get outlines and you can finish it off yourself if you know copy. But as you saw from my first comment, I'm not yet impressed with AI copywriting. Now, on the other hand, there's also article writing. You can tell AI to create articles for you. The AI, the chat AI, because so many people are using it, currently has a limit of how many words it will write. So you can ask it, if you want 1,000-word articles, you can divide it into sections and have it write a section at a time and put them all together. Social media management. Social media management, um, you can create images. You can have it populate Facebook pages all automatically. You can create with so much different software, and you can sell stock images. Um, One of the biggest stock image companies is Adobe. And Adobe freely says, yes, send us your images. And if they sell, you get a piece of the action. You can do voiceovers with AI. Um, and literally, what's going on with the voiceovers in AI is that they are so good that it's really hard to tell them from the original. Yes, you can have someone speak with a Scottish accent, but someone did a Frank Sinatra song. It wasn't Frank Sinatra, it was lyrics and music in the style of Frank Sinatra, and there was a voice singing it that sounded exactly like Frank Sinatra. Of course, that's probably going to create some very, very interesting um, legal challenges in the future. Um, you can create resumes for people. You can create music for people. You can create music in a style that you like. Want to create piano music that sounds like Mozart wrote it? It can be done today. Want to create hip hop music with hip hop lyrics? Can all be done automatically. Teachers can create quizzes. Um, People who sell products can create quizzes to make sure that people really understand the material. Let me pause and take a drink while Jim, you look at the questions and see if there are any
I've
questions.
been answering them as we go. While you drink, I think the most cogent question was, what AI platform did you use to create presentations?
So I actually used. We're going to get to those.
Okay, thanks.
We're going to get to these things, but there are AI platforms. First, I used Chat AI for the text today. Freely, it wrote stuff. I have Chat AI on my phone. I'm sorry, on my computer, and I have it installed. And the the stuff that it is able to do is quite amazing. Now let's see. I want to find. Okay, hold on. Okay, since I was asked for um, that particular topic, um, there are three tools that you can use. One is called Tome, Tome. Another one is Slides AI, and then there's Chat BCG. So you can have a job creating slide decks for webinars, and it will do the designs, everything, find the images, really does everything. Okay, any other questions that are unanswered?
That sort of gets to the nexus of it. Yep.
Okay,
Are you gonna publish the slides somewhere?
I don't know what the slides are going to do for anybody. I would rather send it an email listing recommended uh, programs. I think that would be more useful than the slides.
Me too. Thank you. It was a good question though, so thanks.
Okay, now let's go. Um, Although it generated the information for me, I'm the clown who put it together. So there is software that will crank out books in an absolute instant. There's software that will write emails for you. There is chat. You can turn WhatsApp into a chat bot for your clients. You can get a business WhatsApp account, attach a chat bot to it so that people can go into that chat and ask questions in a group, and everybody gets to see the answers. Now, we're going to go in a second, but you can create prompts. Prompts are what powers AI, and Jim is going to talk about that in a little bit. But what you tell the AI is um, is determine the quality of the information that you get back. So if you say something to AI, don't expect the answer to come back to be useful unless your prompt is quite detailed. So uh, the rabbi actually today revealed his prompt um, because he wanted the prompt to be about a certain section of the Bible. He mentioned he wanted it for a sermon, so it should have a moral message, and he suggested the moral message. And he said, and I want you to quote Brene Brown. And that's what he did. If he said, write a sermon for me, Lord knows what he would have gotten. Um, Now, one of the things that the internet has done that has changed medicine forever is the fact that there are so many sites like WebMD or Mayo Clinic that take medical information and make it available for people. Doctors were extremely annoyed when people would start asking questions about what they had seen online. Up until then, doctors practiced what was called paternal medicine and were able to get away with it. But all of a sudden, they were starting to ask questions. But that means that you have to rely on those particular sites. The actual research papers were beyond the comprehension of most people. Not anymore. There is an AI application that can take the most complex research papers and simplify them. There is AI travel itineraries. You can use AI to find SEO keywords or long tail keywords. You can create animated talking videos very, very simply. You can fire your graphic designer and create beautiful logos and graphics. You can create optimized SEO content. You can create memes for publishing on social media. You could literally get legal help without spending a dime. I remember what product was it? I had, I needed product photos for Amazon. And I had to hire somebody who came with a special box and lighting and setup. It wasn't cheap. I spent a lot of money, and then the company that I was using on Amazon said, "No, we only use our own photographer." Now you can create gorgeous product photos with just pictures or taken ordinarily on your phone. You can create blog content, literally. Now, here is something that we're going to get into a discussion about. You can create entire blog content at the push of a button. Most of these push button sites, and there have been push button sites for years, these push button sites generally create garbage. Somebody posted online that he did not understand why his blog was disapproved by AdSense. And he was doing a blog about New York City. And first of all, the content was 100% plagiarized. Second of all, after two articles about New York, the rest of the articles on the site were about Los Angeles. I think Google might have had a problem with that. It was all push button content. Right now, I have never seen a blog, one of these instant blogs, do anything valuable. Google hates useless AI content. Google likes useful AI content. And that means that you really need to know your prompts. One of the biggest achievements of AI that is revolutionizing the programming industry is that AI writes phenomenal code. That has probably, if jobs are threatened and copywriters are worrying, that's probably not going to be um, the biggest displaced job market. It's probably going to be programmers because AI effortlessly writes codes and coders are just impressed with what comes out. And one of my favorite things is imagine creating your own podcast guests. That one's one of my favorites, and we're going to actually see that tonight. Let me take another deep breath. Any more questions?
Um, Jim says, how about creating memes? I think that's actually a really interesting question because I don't think we're at a place where we can create really good ones.
Well, then
I'm sure they're coming.
you might want to check out. Hold on. Let me see. There's an image, but there's an AI tool that lets you recreate any image you find online. We're going to be talking about that because so many people see images that are copyrighted, and this tool lets you recreate or clone an image which is not the old image. I am looking for the meme generator here. Oh, I will have to send that out, but hold on, let me just see. I will have to get that to you, but you can, there is software that literally instantly generates memes for you in a split second. So that will be coming. Okay. Any other questions there?
Gary wants to know, what do you think when AI gets into the hands of scammers? Is it going to ruin it for everybody?
It's already there, and we're going to cover that. That's already there, and we're going to cover that. Okay, we're going to go on. And now we're going to hear from Jim a little bit about prompts. Just so that you know, Jim years ago wrote the #1 book, and I don't think anyone else has done anything like it since then, on creating engagement on Facebook. I would say that 90% of what he taught is still today. It works in groups, it works on pages, it works. And now the future of AI is in prompts. So, Jim, you want to talk about prompts a little bit, and especially what you've done with keywords, SEO, and articles.
Okay. In general, here's a general idea about prompts. And this is for whether it's Jasper or ChatGPT or the excellent viral curation software, whether it's for DALL-E or Midjourney or some of the image making softwares that are common. And that is if you're really specific and you give a lot of context and you tell the little bot exactly what you want in the most clear terms possible, you can really um, do a marvelous job. I about an hour ago, I published a picture on Facebook of a restaurant meal for beef Wellington, and I'd like to read that prompt for you people, not because you remember it, but so that you can get the vibe of a prompt that I used for a couple of different image 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 things, and you don't have to get all the technical details, but I told it about the context, what I wanted. I told it what camera I wanted, what lens, what settings on the camera, including ISO and everything else. So here's the prompt that made a beautiful restaurant picture. It's both in the Super Sites group and it's on my personal page. Here's the prompt. Quote, beef Wellington, tender beef fillet coated in a layer of pate and duxelle. That's mushroom sauce. Wrapped in puff pastry and baked to perfection. Professional food photography, Irish pub, elegant, delicious, delectable, savory, cinematic, color grading, depth of field, hyper detailed, beautiful color coded, insane details, editorial photography, photorealistic, UHD, HDR, HD, natural lighting, Canon EOS FR3 set at f1,4 ISO 200, 1160s, 32K RAW, Pro Photo, RGB, bokeh, lens flare, high quality 400 MP, megapixel super resolution. That produced a really good photograph. If you just said beef Wellington in an Irish pub, it's going to be give and take. So there's that. Here's a trick for Chat GPT. And Harlan, you know the people on this chat. Who has what's a website someone has? The niche.
How about keyboards?
Keyboard, okay. I know somebody with beginner keyboards. Okay, so now I do have really detailed ones, which I can't remember or pull out right now, but you would say something to Chat GPT, and the first real trick with Chat GPT is the word acting as. And so when you start that with Chat GPT, it changes the output a lot. So this is something I would suggest. Acting as an experienced SEO expert, suggest a complete SEO plan for a website about beginner piano keyboards. Develop this plan with groups of articles to be published, a plan to generate topical authority, and that's where I'd start. ChatGPT would come back, and then I would ask it, thanks. Now refine your instructions on developing topical authority in beginner piano keyboards. It will come back. Then I'll say, generate a list of long tail articles that might rank well in Google. Now this will be speculative because it doesn't really know this. It'll give me a list of articles. Suppose there's an article there you like. You say, give me a title that will attract clicks, thereby impressing Google's algorithm for article XYZ on keyboards. And so acting as a SEO expert, you would ask ChatGPT all the questions you would do as if you were interviewing an SEO expert. If you get stuck, you could say, acting as an SEO expert, what questions have I not asked you that would be important to improve the SEO of my website for beginner piano keyboards. That's a quick and I think easy to understand look at asking ChatGPT to help you with SEO. And you can ask it to help you optimize articles. You do not want to trust it, and you do not want to let it write the article, okay? As Harlan said, the actual writing is not there yet, but you can get outlines. Oh, here's something you could do. Suppose you had an article, you could say, develop and write this word down. Acting as an SEO expert, develop a content brief for an article about XYZ piano keyboards. And that will be good. A content brief tells you what should be in the article. If you use that, then this will give you a great start. So that's my quick idea about prompts for SEO and prompts for really great images.
Okay, thank you, Jim. We've got more to go. I just put into the chat and sent to everybody the name of the site that does AI memes for you. And Mashable actually says that it does better memes than human memes. So go take a look at it. It is IMGFLIP imageflip.com. And imageflip.com, imgflip, and it will generate memes for you, images, etc. There are some really nice things. It's currently free. Don't expect it to stay free, because when people start having to pay for the chat, that's going to change. So I thought I would show you some cool stuff. Let me go here. Come on, escape. Let's go to, here's my beginner keyboard site. Now, we haven't put any instructions. This is a day old, but we have programmed this chat on my website to have the chat act as if it was a piano instructor. What is an easy Beatles song to play on the piano? And it answers, Let It Be is an easy Beatles song to learn on the piano. It's a simple tune with basic chords and only 3 sections. The song is also very catchy and will definitely bring a smile to your face. What should be the first Elton John song I learned as a beginner piano player? One of the simpler Elton John, considering that you are a beginner, one of the simpler Elton John songs would be a good choice to learn as your song. It is very relatively easy melody, and with practice, you can play it quickly. All right, let's see what you know. What is an F major chord and the inversions? And there it is. It answers it very, very simply. What do you guys think of having chat? Now, this will only answer piano questions.
Harlan, you got that up on your site already?
Yes, sir. And
Wow.
and to
Okay. I don't know what anybody else says. I didn't know you were doing this. I knew you were thinking about this, and I know that you ready, fire, aim. But that's amazing. Okay.
Can
Oh
you
man.
can you imagine this being on your site? So here's what's coming tomorrow. Ready? Act as if you are a keto expert, have been doing keto for years, know all the keto, know hundreds of keto recipes, can answer questions about keto, and can produce any keto recipe on demand. Above the chat box is going to be AdSense ads. Below the chat box are going to be AdSense ads, letting people know that they have access to free and unlimited keto recipes. What do you think? Do you think my AdSense income will go up?
Harlan, we got to talk about my meditation site first thing tomorrow. Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
this is where we are going. This is where we are going. So, and by the way, let's just test it out over here. Do 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 do. Um, what's the best keto cheesecake recipe? Sorry, I'm not sure I have an answer for you. You see,
Good.
I don't want
Yeah.
people coming to the site and pretending it's a regular chat box like OpenAI and run up the thing. I want to answer questions that are relevant. Now, folks, if you don't think,
Everybody on this webinar would come and write books on your keyboard site. That would be a terrible thing.
okay, so this is, imagine instead of writing an FAQ section, this generates it. And by the way, what if it took all of those recipes that people generated, automatically posted them on new pages with even more ads? What do you think? Of course, I would have it post them only as drafts because I've got to check it. The AI is not perfect, as we're about going to see. Are you guys seeing a slight bit? Jim, or people are saying, could you please send out your prompts?
Yes, it's on my Facebook page. I answered it many times. Yep.
Okay, so that is just what's going on now. You could give your chatbot a personality. You absolutely could. Now we have chatbots doing
Oh,
everything.
can
We
you
have
give it a personality if you want to? Now, I am doing business and serious applications, but if you want to give something a personality, say acting as a sarcastic teenage boy, answer the question blah blah blah, and chatbot will give you the snarkiest answers you can imagine.
So someone says, I'm confused. Did you limit the chat to piano related questions?
Yes.
On my piano site? Yes. You could brand your chatbot. Well, Jim, this is coming.
I know you're talking about it. I did not know you and Val did it. That's spectacular.
Well, that's what happens when you get into an ass kicking mood. So,
Wow.
yeah, this should be up on whatever. Val is actually one of the things about the chat is that you can train the chat and you can you can feed information into the chat to literally make it smarter. But we're going to go ahead. Let's show you another site. This one I kind of love. I kind of love because it's really bad. This is a plagiarism and AI detector built for serious content publishers. All right, so I'm going to log in. Oh, my website scan. And I had it scan my website, beginner keyboards. Can everybody see the screen? I hope so.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Bye, Justin. Honored that you made it. Beginner keyboards. I ask it to scan my website, and it scanned 100 pages of the website. Okay, now here we go. Whoa, that was not. I want to see the results here. View website. There it is. Okay, so it found the pages. Now on the pages, it went from original 98%. And if we went to the last page, went all the way to, where's the last page? It said that some of the pages were 98% AI and 2% human. And you ready for the punchline, Jim?
Tell me.
The punchline is that it got it entirely wrong. That the actual the some of the webinars, some of the pages that were generated by AI, it said was original, and some of the pages that were original, it said were AI. So that is just absolutely insane. I told the people at that site, and they went, yep, it's not really there yet. So if you're counting on it, it may not be the best thing that you could do. Okay. Now there's a dark side of AI too. And I have to tell you that when it comes to the dark side of AI, it's not all sunshine, unicorns, and rainbows. There are all kinds of challenges. Yes, some people are going to lose jobs. There's going to be privacy concerns. Man, are they privacy concerns. Amazon has Alexa glasses that you can talk, and your glasses will hear what you say and do things like, hey, I want to listen to this music, or, text so and so. But the problem is, it has to listen to you to find out when you're talking to it. So it ends up listening to all of your conversations. And who knows who's going to be able to tap into that and hear stuff that they shouldn't. It's very important to be aware of these possibilities. But the dark sides get even darker. Responsible AI, we can minimize this stuff and ensure that AI is used for good. We want AI to be a part of the solution, not the problem. But it's not there yet. With the rise of AI, there are a lot of AI products that are making unrealistic claims. The phone ringing during the um, presentation tonight is from a company that is trying to sell me AI products that don't exist. They're talking about what AI can do. And if you go to the company's website, nothing there indicates that this actually exists. Plus, um, a lot of stuff generated from AI could be false information. You have to verify the information from sources. Don't be fooled by this stuff. You got to make the right decisions. Now, when AI screws up, it really screws up. Now, one of my friends, and I sent this article to Jim as well, this is quite a story. He is an expert in animals and plants of the Bible. If something is mentioned in the Bible, he wants to know that whether or not that animal exists today and what it would be. He has, in fact, an entire museum regarding that. So, for example, when the Bible talks about the plagues and locusts came down on Egypt, he wants to know which species of locust came down on Egypt. He wants to know if it's the same as the locusts are today. And he will study this stuff, what kind of grasshoppers there are. He has a museum where you can actually buy stuffed grasshoppers because these are the ones he's identified as the one mentioned in the Bible. So there is a dispute as to when the Bible refers to a gazelle, he wants to know which animal today is the gazelle. And one of those animals he theorized is called a hyrax. Okay, don't ask me, I'm not the expert, but I'm telling you that what he does. And I have to tell you that he came to the chat OpenAI and he asked the question, what is the antelope mentioned in this verse of the Bible the hyrax? And chat gave a brilliant answer that matched his research. And he was blown away by that. He had spent years researching it, and the chat answered it in a second. He was like, whoa, that's incredible. And then he got a little more bold. He said, is there research that shows, proves this? Are there any studies that show this? And chat said, sure. And it listed the studies and the journals that they were published in. Now, let me ask you a question. You think that's impressive? How many think that that's pretty impressive? There's a punchline coming, so don't be afraid. What do you think? Is that impressive? Yes or no? Very impressive. Very impressive. And it had all the research papers done. And then he began to think, and here comes the punchline. He called a friend of his and said, you know, all this time we spent studying, the chat bot got it in a second, and it also found 3 articles that we didn't even know existed. We did not even know existed. And, well, his friend logged into his online library system that has access to like every research article ever published. There are different databases. I did this when I did my doctorate. I did my doctorate in education, and there is an education database called ERIC. And so I would log into ERIC, got access to ERIC, and it did all of my research for me. So they logged online, and guess what they found? That none of those publications and none of those articles existed. Chat invented them. Now, can you imagine publishing a research paper, a scholarly research paper, and then someone getting up and pointing out that your research didn't even exist? That is AI today. And unfortunately, it's not perfect. So I asked the AI today, or yesterday, I wanted to do an article for my website, and I said, can you tell me what the 10 most recent attractions in Jerusalem that would be fun for families to visit? And it said, well, I don't know about the most recent attractions because I stopped scanning the web in 2021, but here are 10 attractions that you can visit with families, and it listed them. And the first, I asked them for attractions in Jerusalem, Israel. And I pointed out to chat that the first one listed wasn't in Jerusalem at all. And it went, oh yeah, it's not in Jerusalem, it's here. Sorry about that. Then it told me that the newest attraction is the cable car in Jerusalem and how popular it is. There's only one problem. The cable car doesn't exist. Not yet. I asked it about one of the sites in Jerusalem today. It's called the String Bridge. The chat said people love to walk across the pedestrian bridge called the String Bridge. Hey, chat, do you know that it is not an actual pedestrian bridge, but a work of art? Oh, yes, it's a work of art, and it symbolizes this. It is a bridge between communities. Chat and the state of chat today, the state of AI, means it can make mistakes. I asked it for some keto recipes this morning, and it gave me some really delicious recipes, except some of them had non-keto ingredients in them. And I had to say, it looks like a really delicious recipe, chat, but honey is not keto. You're right, honey is not keto. Oops, messed up over there. Oh, by the way, the bagel that you told me to use, it's not keto. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Folks, AI without human supervision right now is not there yet. The day is going to come that doctors are going to be, and I believe that a lot of this is already there, that doctors have computers and they literally speak the symptoms into their computer and it generates solutions. If
That's
your
right now, you bet.
if your doctor is trusting that it's automatically correct, we are all dead people.
The responses come from a medical database, Harlan. They're not using publicly available databases. This is all proprietary.
I,
My doctor has a database that she checks symptoms for. Yeah.
again, but the decision needs to be made by a human. For example,
By a doctor.
by a
Well,
doctor.
of course. Yeah.
Today, and this was quite old, years ago, when there was you went and you took an x-ray, you went to the radiology department and you had an x-ray, you had to wait several days for the results to come back, be read, and a radiologist would read them, and it was a several day process. That exists no longer. What's happening is the instant that the pictures are taken, there are doctors on staff in India who are looking at the images and writing what the diagnoses are. And then that created a problem. All these radiologists were looking at losing jobs. And so, even though they know what the answer is, radiologists have to certify what they get back. But radiologists and medical students are seeing the writing on the wall, and fewer people are going into radiology because they know that that profession is going to change. So,
Harlan, can I say something?
absolutely.
I have a friend who is a radiologist, recently retired. And he said to me, Jim, there isn't a radiologist on the world who has seen 1 billion x-rays, read every one of them carefully, stored that in his mind, and has instant and automatic and perfect recall. And they have databases that do that. So there will still be radiologists, but the diagnostics will be AI assisted. Absolutely, it's happening now, but you're right that there's going to be way fewer radiologists reading X-rays and other fancy imagery diagnostics.
Okay, so the future of AI, feel free to jump in. One of the big things is, will chat replace Google? Will it replace websites? And the answer to that is a ludicrous no. If you were to ask a question to AI about gardening and then go and look up the answer on a site like Epic Gardening, you would be absolutely blown away. Now, their chat can't even come close to the quality of a good website. Will that change in the future? Maybe. I have a feeling that chat will get better once people like Jim start teaching people how to write better and better prompts. So I don't think that chat is going to replace Google. I don't think that chat is going to replace websites. But Google has its own AI that we know very little about, and it's called Lambda. Google has been working behind the scenes on their AI. Google has the smartest researchers in the world. They have released a tiny sample of AI that I got access to. It's called the AI Test Kitchen. And I have to tell you, it is pure garbage. I'm really surprised that they released it. I think they just wanted to show that they were still in the game. But honestly, it's almost embarrassing. Now, Google made the news in August, September when they fired one of their top Lambda programmers because he had spent a lot of time with the real AI, and he said that Lambda had feelings. It was sentient. It could sense things, about people. And Jim, you know what they did to him?
Tell me.
They fired him.
Oh, right. No, I knew that. You're right. Yep.
They fired him. So,
Well, because he was over the edge. That's right. The poor guy.
yeah, but again, that was somebody who spent the whole day, and it was like just like in 2001, the computer HAL 9000 became sentient. Now it's this becoming sentient being as well. And finally, I think AI on websites, which is coming, is going to impress the heck out of everybody. And you saw a glimpse of it tonight, but in the next couple of days, we are going to be massively teaching our people uh, about AI websites and the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a list of emails recommending some products for you. Please do not write back. I'm trying to be kind here. If I don't mention a product, chances are there's a reason I'm not recommending it. Okay? Don't go, but Harlan, you left this off the list. Yeah, it wasn't accidental. So,
The list is infinite. You could send lists for days.
which I don't plan to do. I just plan to cover the topics that I covered tonight and do that and send that out. Also, for those of you who have websites and you want, how many people here would want AI chat on their websites? Right? So, for example, my friend Lou is here, and
You got 40 yeses.
and you can have people saying to Lou on his drone site, get this. What are the rules? What kind of licensing do I need to fly a drone? Which drones? What are the features that I should look for in a drone? What are the best drones? What are the best drones under $500? What kind of drones? Which drone is the best for surviving a crash? Is there a height of how high drones can fly? Am I allowed to fly drones over someone else's property? Can I use a drone in a national park? What are the best drones for drone racing? Now, how does that sound to you? Stick with me here. Sounds good? All right. Now, how about that the drone is programmed so that when someone asks, so what's the best drone for me to buy for a teenager who is interested in drone racing that's under $1,000? And that not only does it respond with the drone, but it also responds with your Amazon affiliate link.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and,
Pick me
and
up off the floor. Yeah.
Jim,
I
that's
can't
what,
believe you're doing this, Harlan. I thought it would be 6 months in creation.
how about next week?
I
because
know.
because we got this already. Val said, of course course I can teach it to respond with your affiliate links. Hello, folks.
Wow.
I told you that I was going to show you how to make money. I told you I wasn't going to sell anything. Did I keep my promise? What does VC do that other websites don't? Oh my gosh. Viral curation finds viral content for you. Viral curation curates content. Viral curation rewrites content, expands content, and takes content, turns it into original content that is 100% original and will pass Copyscape. Viral curation posts it on your website for you. Viral curation will completely outline articles for you and then fill in the outlines. You can create articles that are optimized for SEO literally out of thin air. It is soon going to be voice guided. Checks plagiarism, will check grammar. There's going to be chat in there so that you can literally, instead of even typing, if you're a lazy butt like me, you're going to be able to speak to viral curation and tell it to generate articles for you.
And viral curation, when you create images in Canva, like memes or really good pictures, you save it in viral curation and you can schedule it to go out once a month to your social media sites too.
Okay. So Brandon says, how are we going to set this up? You're going to share how we're pulling this off. This will all, once we have it tested, and you saw it tonight, that little chat box work, then you have to, this is going to be amazing, but you have to know what you're doing. You have to train your specific bot with information. So for example, here's one that I can tell you about that's coming that nobody's going to be able to duplicate, is that we are working on a bot that it's going to be on your phone, and while you are on Zoom or talking to a client on another phone over the speaker, it's going to listen to people making sales calls and tell the people what they should respond to what the client is saying. So when the client gives an objection, you just look down at the chatbot and it will be telling you what to say as a response. Okay?
Is that called the Kenrick bot?
That is called the Kenrick bot. And this stuff,
really? Are you kidding me? I made that up.
no, it's actually, that's what's doing. It's going to be using, so we are currently feeding the bot his entire literature. And the first thing that we trained it in was all of the sleight of mouth patterns.
Okay, I want a Milton bot too.
Oh, by the way, the Milton thing was, oh, I left out something. I left out a site. Oh gosh. Oh, please forgive me. But where is it? Here is, this is character.ai. I hope you guys are still with me.
I am.
But I'm sure a bunch of people dropped off, but they're missing the punchline here. So you can create characters, and I created a character for Meatloaf, my favorite singer, and I programmed it. And this is how I programmed it. I am Meatloaf. My album Bat Out of Hell was one of the best-selling albums of all time. All the songs were written by my friend Jim Steinman. Then I said, hey, Meat, what was your favorite song to record? He answered, Paradise by the Dashboard Light. It took so many tight takes to get it right. Jim Steinman said it was the most complex song he ever wrote. A lot of words were ad-libbed by me. I was exhausted by the time we finished. Did you and Jim ever argue? Yes, a lot, about lyrics, arrangements, and what songs to put on albums. There was sometimes quite a bit of swearing involved. We were like brothers. Now, here's one where it didn't do very well. Why didn't you and Patty Russo get along? She was more professional than me, a little more conservative. She didn't care to go to bars and drink and sing karaoke after shows with us, and that sort of bothered me. Our relationship was okay, whatever, and that was absolutely not true. Now, before you could see that there was a second answer that you could choose, and the second answer was actually the truth was she was really late to rehearsals. She argued all the time. She fought with me about what to do in the show. I liked her as a person, but we couldn't get along, and ultimately, it was missing the rehearsals that I had to fire her. Then we get to things here. Hey, Meat, can you compose a new song for me? I will do one for you for free. Just tell me what subject you want and a few lines of lyrics. I will compose a ballad from your description, then I'll send you a copy. So, standard Jim Steinman song. I want you to create a song about young love and a motorcycle crash. I will work on that right now and get a finished song to you by the end of the week. Your song will be sung by a young singer named Cody Johnson. He's a wonderful artist from Texas who has a huge following. He's very passionate, very intense, just perfect to sing the song. I've never composed an entire song online like this, but I will do it for you, my friend. I hope it's something you will enjoy. So I went, well, how are you going to send that to me? I'll put the finished song on my website and I will send you a link to hear it. I hope this is acceptable to you, my friend. It's all I can do under the circumstances of us being online. Please let me know if you hear the song and if you like it. That's all that matters to me. Meatloaf, you said in the song, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. What exactly was that? Jim Steinman and I discussed the meaning of the lyrics together. In an interview, he said that refers to changing who you are for love, to sacrifice your beliefs, yourself, your character, your soul to please, and keep someone who doesn't love for you. He was inspired to write the song when he saw a woman at a party who had completely submitted to a man who mistreated her. That is that. And then there's this arrow over here, which said, to hurt someone, to be dishonest, to betray someone, to let someone down, someone that you promised to be there for, to allow someone to feel alone. The song's not just about romantic love, but also about being there for someone, being true to someone, not letting down the people you care about. Do Anything for Love was the last song that Jim Steinman and I wrote together. So it gives you to most of these things. Obviously, Meatloaf is not writing a song and sending it to me. I don't even know if Cody Johnson exists. But it does do fascinating things. Now, there are people who have created, if we go to here, you can see all of the people, the characters that people have created. So let's look for, I don't know about you, but I always wanted to talk to Batman.
Huh.
Batman and Robin. I grew up with the Cape Crusader. So where is Batman? Let's just go Batman. Batman, come on. I'm Batman. Batman role-playing. I am Vengeance. I'm Dark Knight. I'm Lego Batman. 60s Batman and Robin. Let's go, Batman. And you can see that I've talked to him. Greetings, citizen. I'm Batman. This is my sidekick, Robin. Yep, that's me. Who's your worst enemy? Our greatest enemy is the Joker, a criminally insane clown with a taste for violence. He's an absolute maniac, Batman. He's a special kind of super gas that turns people insane. It's green. What was the most dangerous situation you were in? The most dangerous situation I found myself in. That would have to be our encounter with the Riddler. He's an evil genius who used riddles and word games to challenge his opponents and send them into a frenzy. Yep, a total lunatic. One time he made a question mark shape out of the very bodies of innocent people. It's a horrifying image I'll never forget. Does Commissioner, I spelled that wrong, Gordon, know your real identities? And so it says he knows. So the bottom line is, I want you to think about doing this stuff. Now, in order for the chat bot, the character bot, to work for you, it has to be someone really well known. So, for example, you could create a character for William Shakespeare, have it answer like William Shakespeare, and you can ask William Shakespeare what you think of your book. Imagine endorsements from William Shakespeare. Imagine interviewing Abraham Lincoln or George Washington or King George III. All of this is possible. Now imagine, and I gave this to my friend Doug O'Brien, who created a Milton Erickson chat, and I told him to ask some really good questions to Milton, take those questions, feed the chatbot some recordings of Milton Erickson, or get somebody to do an imitation and read Milton's responses. Imagine being on a webinar and being able to ask questions to Milton Erickson. What do you think people would do with that? And it's all possible. It is all possible. It is all possible today. You could use these characters, but don't use somebody whose name is protected. Do not use a recent celebrity. Do not create a character named Madonna and have Madonna endorse a product for you. That would be asking for trouble. On the other hand, imagine if you could interview Babe Ruth about hitting and have a product about it. Now you get the idea. Years ago, I published a public domain book called Babe Ruth's Home Run Secrets. Wouldn't it be better to actually interview the Babe? And you let people know it's all AI. This is the future, folks. Any last comments there, Jim?
Lots of people asking, saying wonderful these things. Can you? I think we're sort of there. Yep. You don't want to sell anything, so we'll just leave it to whatever you decide to share with us in the follow-up emails.
Yeah, we're not selling anything tonight. I'm going to keep my word with everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
so folks, we'll be in touch with you, and you'll be getting some emails. Right now, this was, we went very close to 2 hours. Jim, thank you. Jim, when his book comes out, I'm going to tell you about it, because prompts are the future of AI. The better your prompts, the better you're going to be. You should see the prompts that my music teacher creates on um, to create AI. He is creating a video game, and he is having all of the artwork created through AI, and he's a he's a musician. He's having AI create all of the music for the site. So the future starts now, folks. I wish you all.
Is there going to be recording, Harlan?
Yeah, I'm going to post a recording.
Okay.
All right, everybody. If they've registered for the call, they'll get the recording. Take care,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye bye.
That was fun, Harlan. Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye. Yeah, it was. All right, let's get out of here.